Yo, what's going on, guys? This is Snapey back with a brand new video. Today, guys, I am talking about Halo Infinite. These are settings you should consider changing. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit the like button, comment down below, and please subscribe and notifications on that you never miss an upload. Still trying to push towards 1k subs toward the end of the year, so any support I really do appreciate. Without further ado, though, let's get into this video. So today, I am talking about Halo Infinite settings. Let me just get my overlay off. So this is my first Halo Infinite video as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to go on settings. Now, I am a controller player, but there are settings on here that I'm going to talk about which are not just to do with controller, so hold up with me. So first of all, I'm going to go on to controller, okay? Now, this is just something I recommend to people. I highly recommend it. I personally believe with your button layout, you should run custom. Why? Because depending on what games you're used to playing, you can customize your controls to whatever you like, okay? So whether you come from maybe a Warzone background, an Apex background, if you're just a Halo player, perfect, you'll be all right with one of the stick layouts, the button layouts. But just a little tip, I would highly recommend people run custom because switching controls to your personal preference is definitely best. Now, the next thing you should definitely change is your vibration. I would say turn this off. There is pretty much no point in having vibration apart from it gives you a little signal when you're getting shot, but of course it will throw you off as well. It adds to pressure and adrenaline when you're in a 1v1 situation. You do not need that. You need to be calm and composed, so definitely turn this off. Now, apart from that, the majority of stuff on here I'm not going to really mention about. Sensitivity wise, these are all things that you need to look into yourself. I can do a separate video on sensitivity if people want to know, but the other thing I wanted to mention on, it's not even on controller now, we're going over to video. Now on video, field of view. Now this is personal preference again, but I have mine on 120 as big as possible so I can see everything around me. Depending on the size of your monitor, you might prefer it to be a little bit smaller. I do say if you've got a bigger screen, you might as well have it as big as possible, 120. If you do have a smaller screen, you might prefer it to be a little bit smaller, more compact. But definitely change your field of view. Don't run with what they recommend because I think you can get so much more vision by having that bigger. Now we're on to sensory. Now this is something that I have been playing around with quite a lot. Now blur, I would turn this completely off. Now blur is pretty much just the distortion appears during explosions, sprinting, equipment use, and cinematic sequence. Now this is something you might want to have on when you play multiplayer, campaign, but when you're playing multiplayer, you don't want these type of things to be happening. So I've turned that completely off. You don't want anything that can put you off mid-game. Screen shake, I've turned that completely off because one, it shakes when you're sprinting. You don't need that. Two, it does shake when obviously you get grenaded and whatnot. You don't need that. Once again, if you're doing campaign, it might be better to turn it on just so you get more of the feel for the campaign, you know, when you get to those cutscenes and whatnot, but definitely turn it off when you're playing multiplayer. Once again, the exact same with exposure. Turn that off. If you've got big, bright, flashing lights coming at you when explosions go off, you're not going to be able to see, you won't be able to know what's coming next. You need to have that off completely. It will not help you or benefit you. Obviously, once again, if you're doing campaign, whack it back on because it will work with the cinematics. The next thing I have is speed lines. I've turned that off. They're just little white lines that appear when you're sprinting. I personally would turn that off. There's no benefit to having them on. I mean, you can tell when you're sprinting and when you're not sprinting. You might as well keep it off. Now, the other big one I wanted to talk about was in audio. Now this one has helped me so damn much. This one is to do with footsteps. If you have been struggling to hear footsteps, then watch this. Go down to environmental effects. Turn that completely off. This will make it a lot quieter, and the only things you're going to be able to hear is gunfire, a little bit of background noise and whatnot, but it cuts out a lot of the environmental effects in the wildlife and whatnot. Turn that completely off and you will hear footsteps so much easier. I would obviously, once again, turn it back on when you do campaign because it will make the effects of the map and whatnot, but of course, campaign not out yet. And then hit detection effects, I have turned that up to max because I want to be able to hear with ease when I make somebody no shields. I don't want to be hesitating like, did I make them no shields? Was it not no shields? Maybe my grenade might not have done as much damage as I thought. We want to be able to hear that as much as possible. So have this as high as possible, and then you will be able to work out when you've made that enemy one shot. Apart from that, the rest of this stuff, I mean, you wouldn't really worry about. I mean, if you want to talk to your teammates and whatnot, make sure you go to your voice chat mode and put it to open mic. And then apart from that, man, the rest of it's not really that important. It's all like just accessibility stuff. But those are the main things I would like you to really look at and consider changing. I personally have benefited a lot from the changes that I've done. I don't want to make this too long, but if you do want a sensitivity video and whatnot on what my sensors are, then please make sure you hit the like button, go and comment it down below and whatnot. Make sure you subscribe if you have enjoyed the video. It's a quick one just to get some of those main settings out there that people should consider changing. And yeah, please subscribe, notification on that you never miss an upload. Apart from that, guys, I'll catch you all in the next video.